Day, grade 7. Welcome to our social studies class. In the previous classes that we have had, we looked at the study of history. What is history? Who are historians? Why do we study history? Stuff like those. Our topic that we should be going into is the history of your technical high school. But before we embark on that topic, we need to look at some important facts about the parish of Clarendon. Once you have established just a few facts about the parish of Clarendon, then we can start looking at the history of your technical high school. So in front of you is a one-page document that I have created, which should give us some idea of some major events that took place in Clarendon, the historical perspective on Clarendon, and this is supposed to lay the foundation for us to start our study on the history of your technical. So when you're ready, I'd like you to read along with me, or I'd like you to listen very carefully so that we can go through this together. At the end of this presentation, I'll be posting some questions that I'd like you to answer for me. And in answering the questions, because I won't be around for the first week, for the week of this lesson, I'm going to ask you to do these questions in your notebook and reserve them for me for class. The questions will be posted in the respective grade 7 WhatsApp groups. So let's begin. Important historical facts, or that should be some important historical facts about the parish of Clarendon. The English captured Jamaica from the Spaniards in 1655. However, there were ongoing conflicts between both groups, which lasted until 1660, when the Spaniards were finally defeated. The Spaniards are the same as the Spanish. Okay, so we can use both words alternately. After the Spanish defeat, the army in Jamaica was disbanded and hundreds of new settlers arrived in the island as the English tried to colonize and settle the island. Historical fact number 1. The earliest census taken in 1662 showed that there were 500 persons living in Clarendon, of whom 150 were soldiers. Imagine that. Clarendon is one of the biggest parishes in Jamaica today. And in 1662, there were only 500 persons living in Clarendon. All right? Of that 500 persons, only 150 were soldiers. It continues. It also shows that a total of 250 acres of land were under crop cultivation. This is in comparison to the total population of Jamaica, which at the time, that is 1662, was 5,728. And among that, there were 522 persons who were once slaves of the parish. Jamaica's population today is over 3 million. And in 1662, the population of the entire parish was 5,728. Look at the great disparity between then and now. So that's fact check number 1. Fact check number 2. Settlers in Clarendon Plains, or in the Clarendon Plains, planted cotton and indigo. So listen now, settlers in the Clarendon Plain planted cotton and indigo. What is the major crop that is being planted in the parish today? Let's continue. It says that cotton was important in both cloth making industry, while indigo was important because it could be used to make dye, which was needed to give different colors to the cotton cloths made. These two crops were exported to England, and below is a picture or an image that I've placed about what the indigo plant looked like and what the cotton plant looked like. It is in black and white because initially, sorry, the handout here was designed to be printed. Fact check number 3. Oh, by the way, before we do fact check number 3, if I were to ask you what is the most important crop that is planted in Clarendon today, if I were to put the picture there, what would that crop be? What picture would I be required to put here as the most important crop that is planted in Clarendon today? So let's do now fact check number 3. The parish of Clarendon is named after the Earl of Clarendon, one of the chief ministers in King Charles II government. Now, King Charles was the King of England, the leader of England at the time. I remember the time we're talking about here is 1862, all right? And he was the leader at the time. And then they had nobles, and one title that some of the nobles got were earls, right? So they were districts, and one of the districts was Clarendon, and he was the Earl of Clarendon. It's similar to you have mayors, councillors, sorry, in different parts of Clarendon. And so the councillor is responsible for that part of Clarendon. Here we have, instead of a councillor, we have an earl who was responsible for a geographical area in England known as Clarendon. And so he was responsible for that area. So the parish of Clarendon was named after this gentleman, the Earl of Clarendon. Fact check number 4. Agriculture became the main economic activity. This main activity took place along the banks of the Rio Minho River. There were at least 36 small plantations on which cotton and indigo were grown. Other agricultural activities included planting sugar and rearing pigs. All right. So Clarendon, as you were taught in primary school, one of the longest rivers in Jamaica is the Rio Minho River. And the parish or parish capital, that's Maypen, is built alongside the Rio Minho River. So the Rio Minho River was a major source of water for the people of Clarendon, not just now, but during those times. And so you'll find that there are quite a number of small villages that sprung up along the banks of the Rio Minho River. Can you name at least 2 communities that are built along the banks of the Rio Minho? And I don't want you to tell me Clarendon, Maypen, any 2 other communities, but we'll get to that. Number 5, fact check number 5. Over time, sorry. Let's go again. Number 5. Over time, other settlers spread out over the parish, establishing towns such as the Alley, Four Parts, Halsall, Hazard, Rhinesbury, Sutton, and Dawkins Pen. In 1672, the lower part of the Clarendon Plain was made into a separate parish called Vere. So fact check number 2 identifies some other villages, some other towns that were established over the parish of Clarendon. All right. Are you a citizen, a member of any of these towns? Ali, Four Parts, Halsall, Hazard, Rhinesbury. What about Sutton or Dawkins Pen? All right. But importantly, I want you to bear in mind that in 1672, the entire parish of Clarendon was divided into 2 parishes, and below there is the map that shows you. So you remember the entire parish of Clarendon. So look at my cursor. Here's my cursor. So all of this is Clarendon. But in 1672, this entire parish was divided into 2. So the lower part, that section shaded green, was now known as the parish of Vere, and the upper part, the northern part, was known as Clarendon. So let's go again. Northern part was known as the parish of Clarendon in 1672, and the lower part was known as the parish of Vere. Fact, fact checked number 6. This new parish called Vere was named after the wife of Sir Thomas Lynch, an officer who had first come to Jamaica with General Venables. He held the post of governor 3 times. Fact checked number 7. Another person who took up land in the Upper Rio Minho Valley was Henry Morgan. Does that name sound familiar? Yes, it should. He was one of the famous pirates. At least I think he's one of Jamaica's most famous pirates, and created havoc throughout the Caribbean. So let's go again. Another person who took up land in the Upper Rio Minho Valley was Henry Morgan, the famous leader of the Buccaneers. After he was knighted by the king, he acted as governor of Jamaica. He owned Morgan's Valley and Danks. Okay, so those are 7 facts. So If you want to replay this video so that you can get a little bit of the background information I gave, you may do so. Oh, having done so though, I want you to stop the video and I want you now to focus on the questions that I have sent in the various WhatsApp group. So for the two classes that I should have you for this week, this is the activity that I want you to do. All right? Have yourselves a great day. Grade 7. Please be on your best behavior. Please don't let me hear any complaint from any teacher about you. You should be in class during my time doing my work. Your coordinators, your form teacher, and my supervisor will be getting a copy of this video and the lesson. So if you misbehave during my class, they know that it is not because that work was not sent for you. All right, be on your best behavior, and I'll see you when I return to school on the 26th. Have a wonderful day.